The latest. Thank you for your love and support. I appreciate you all. I hope to be with you soon. Africa, until we see the true tool they are using to divide us, it will be very difficult for us to move ahead as a people. Always I say this, that if we don't see what it is that is dividing us the more, we will never be able to unite, because no matter how much we put in effort to get to our destination, when we get to the crossroad, they will use this tool to divide us, because they know this tool is working perfectly for them, and this is what they will use to separate us, because we so much cherish this to the point that we can even unalive ourselves just for this thing. They have started with a religious war between us, because they've realized that the African youth is rising up and we are preaching unity among ourselves. And one time I posted a video where they have people who are studying us on social media to see what we like and what we do not like. So now they know the majority of us still have this religion at heart. So they've started this religious thing in Nigeria, claiming that there is Christian genocide in Nigeria. And this started with a Republican in the United States of America claiming that this thing is happening in Nigeria and the world is silent about it. Others are claiming that the people there are covering it. Yet we have Nigeria military or the security, some of them being Christians. There is mass genocide happening elsewhere in other places that we cannot talk about. Yet they are quiet and they don't want to accept that that is genocide.
The fact that this issue has not gotten on people's radar,
right? No one's talking about it.
It's pretty amazing. If you don't know what's going on in Nigeria, your media sources suck. You are in a bubble. Not, and again, I'm not a Christian, but they are systematically killing the Christians in Nigeria. They've killed over 100,000 since 2009. They've burned 18,000 churches. This is so much more. These are their Islamists, Boko Haram. This is so much more of a genocide attempt than what is going on in Gaza. They are literally attempting to wipe out the Christian population of an entire country. Where are the kids protesting this?
Thank you. You sent a letter to Secretary of State Marco Rubio. You called on the State Department to redesignate Nigeria as a country of particular concern due to the persecution of Christians in Nigeria. What's going on there?
Yes, it's really, truly a tragedy what is happening in Nigeria. Just this year alone, 7,000 Christians have been killed by Boko Haram, an Islamic terrorist organization. Just on Ash Wednesday this year, we had a priest kidnapped and murdered, and another 54 Christians martyred on Palm Sunday. There's 35 Christians a day being murdered in Nigeria by an Islamic terrorist organization. The Biden administration removed that designation of a country of particular concern for Nigeria. President Trump had put that designation on them in his first term, and I'm urging Secretary Rubio to bring that designation back because it is certainly warranted. We need to stand up for these Christians who are being murdered in Nigeria.
Unbelievable. All right, Congressman, we'll be watching you work on that as well. Thanks very much for being here this morning. Riley Moore joining us. Thanks, sir. We'll be right back.
Nigeria has become the latest propaganda tool of Zionist and pro-Israeli accounts online to push their narrative that Muslim and Islam are the enemy. This is bullshit. Not only is it reductive and misleading to frame what is going on in Nigeria as a religious war, it is an outright propaganda bullshit. They will tell you that the religious killings are of Christians and Muslims, that Nigerian Muslims are being killed and persecuted just like Nigerian Christians. That's religious violence. They will tell you that those who are significantly and disproportionately more impacted by the ongoing violence are women and young girls. That's gender violence. They will tell you that the millions of Nigerians being displaced in northern Nigeria, now trickling down to southern Nigeria, are Nigerians of different ethnicities, regardless of their faith. That's ethnic violence. They will tell you about the lucrative kidnap to ransom industry that has nothing to do with religious violence, but rooted in financial extortion that transcends gender, religion, ethnicity, or social standing. Doesn't matter if you're a student, a professional, a civilian, or of government standing, you would be bait. It's not about religious violence. This extortion is about the money. And let me be clear, I hold the Nigerian government accountable and find them complicit in these atrocities I've mentioned. Because if there was real political will to address the ongoing insecurity crisis and protect Nigerian citizens, let me tell you that this criminal enterprise and these extremists would have met their end a long time ago. Rolling back to the agenda of the West, let me break this down for you. Muslims and Islam are not the enemy. The extremists who weaponize Islam are the enemy. Judaism and Jews are not the enemy. The extremists, aka Zionists, who weaponize Judaism are the enemy.
I've recently seen the statements by Senator Ted Cruz alleging that there is a Christian genocide which is being aided by Nigerian officials. Now, I don't know if Senator Ted Cruz knows this, but the head of the Nigerian army, the chief of army staff, General Olufemi Oluyede, is a Christian. The head of the Nigerian police, Inspector General of Police Egbetokun, is another Christian. Now, these are the two foremost bodies in Nigeria that are security agencies, the army and the police. Now, does it make sense that two Christians will be officially aiding a genocide against Christians? No, common sense says no. What's happening in Nigeria is that in the northeast, we've got what the senator calls Boko Haram, but which is in reality the Islamic State in the West African province. Now, what they want is an Islamic State. So they're fighting the Nigerian state. They don't care if you're a Muslim or if you're Christian. They're fighting the Nigerian state because the Nigerian state is a secular state. It's not a Muslim country, it's not a Christian country, it's a secular country. Nigeria is the largest Islamo-Christian nation on earth. So that's what they're doing. Now, in the northwest of the country, you've got bandits, and those are opportunistic criminals. They are attacking people indiscriminately to get ransoms from kidnaps, to get people to pay them protection money. And sadly, most of the people that they're doing this to are Muslims. And then you come to the north central of the country, what's called the Middle Belt, and you have an ancient dispute between herders and farmers. Now, in the colonial era, the British set up what they call the Rural Grazing Area, RUGA. But then in post-colonial Nigeria, because of urban-rural drift and modernity, these RUGAs were taken over by farms, by residences and businesses. And so it's exacerbated the crisis between the herders and the farmers. So there is no Christian genocide in Nigeria. But maybe I'm lying. I encourage Senator Ted Cruz to come to Nigeria, visit Nigeria, go to the Christian Association of Nigeria, not the Nigerian government, but the Christian Association of Nigeria. Let them take you round to these places, talk to people, talk to victims, and then you'll find out that this is not a Christian genocide. This is an attack against the Nigerian state in some cases, and then just pure criminalistic behavior by opportunistic criminals. Now, I encourage those who support Senator Ted Cruz to just take a pause, because this talk about bombing Nigeria, arming Christians against Muslims, you don't want another Somalia in Nigeria. You don't want what's happening in Sudan in Nigeria.
They can sit outside of the continent to tell us that what is happening in Nigeria is genocide. But what is happening in Nigeria is not targeting any religious group. The people are targeting both Christians and Muslims. But why they single out it being Christians is another thing. And this is how they always play us, so we continue to be fighting among ourselves. And when I see a lot of us on social media, the youth in Africa who claim we are looking for liberation, we are Pan-Africans, talking about this thing, siding with Christianity, I wonder where we head if truly we are looking for the freedom of Africa. Are we ready for freedom as Africans? Because looking at what we are doing to ourselves all in the name of religion, I doubt. Why do we have to allow ourselves in this 21st century to be manipulated this way? We love religion so much than ourselves. What has religion done rather than dividing us? This is the division we are always talking about. We are one people, but we have allowed the oppressor to use religion to divide us. And this game is working in their interest. They have succeeded in dividing us to the point that we don't see ourselves as one people anymore. So if this continues, how will the African fight for his or her freedom? Have we seen what they've started? The division they've started? They are doing this to shift our attention from what is happening in the world. Now we've seen that the whole world is rising against what they are doing to other people on their own land. So they have to shift their attention to Africa. As we are busy talking and fighting among ourselves, they will carry out their agenda. They want to shift the world focus on what they are doing to the people of P. There is no Christian genocide happening in Nigeria. This is all a game, it's a trap. It is there to turn the world attention, and we are falling for it. I thought Africans were wide awoken, like we see ourselves talking on social media. We are still much asleep because we still don't understand what these people are doing to us. The African is ready to put religion before his own brother. We can go to any length to destroy ourselves, all in the name of the oppressor's God. When will we rise up? The same people who brought out these books are the same ones who come into the continent and carry the resources away in the dark while you are holding on to the book. When we say it, sometimes you say we shouldn't say. But until the African stop worshiping his or her oppressor's God, we can never unite to set ourselves free. Have we seen the game they've started? They tried it in Burkina Faso when we saw that some group of preachers rose up against Captain Ibrahim Traore. They will always succeed with religion. This is a perfect tool they are using on us. And we are falling for this. And it's high time we stop all these things and set our own selves free. It's so heartbreaking. So that's the latest around the world, in Africa, West Africa, and in Nigeria.